All right, welcome. We are live right now. In a few minutes, the tournament will start. Hey, welcome. No face cam? No, I do not look good right now. Welcome, everybody. Can you participate? Uh, yeah, you can. When's the tournament? It's starting very soon. Let me put a link to join the Discord in this chat. Yeah, like it's I was going to have the first match start in like 2 minutes, but if a few people want to join, I can like let them join first. All right. So what you're going so come into server, go to server rules, check for rules, and then go to registration and put a picture of you having Star Nova in the registration. All right. Um, let's see. Richard, do you want to join, or is it just Lucky wants to join? You know what? Let me just put on Brawl TV while I'm figuring all of this out. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Sorry, I am delaying a bit because this is technically earlier than it's supposed to start, and so if and I've asked everyone if that's okay, and a few people haven't responded yet. Um. Yeah. What's the bracket? Um. Yeah, I could put that up too. Oh, let me one moment. What time should I get back? Um, it's going to be starting in 4 minutes. I'm gonna start it in 4 minutes. Evan, you stay in live chat? Yeah. All right. All right, we're starting in 2 minutes. All right. So Luna, Lucky, just DM each other a join code or a link. Also, I gotta change it because we are not actually in winner's quarters yet. Now. All right, 1 minute. Rinky, so Lucky and Luna are in the match together. So just 1 minute. Literally one. When that clock hits 15 minutes past the hour, they can start. All right. And now it's any second. And they're off. Game one. Is it going to be one at a time? No. It's going to be every round at a time. So we see some fighting already. It looks like Lucky had got the better of those trades. Oh, and Lucky trying to trade more. Advantage to Luna in that trade. Luna very on different here. Luna trying to teleport in. Who's gonna get the kill? That's Lucky. That's 1-0 in favor of Lucky. And here comes Lucky looking for another kill. He gets it. That's gonna be 2-0. And Lucky is going to win set 1. Or win game 1. Oh, 3-0. Another kill at the end for Lucky. So now we move into game 2. This could be the final game between these two competitors. Yep. Lucky. Now we have to ask, is Lucky getting lucky or is Lucky just more skilled? So so the prizes will be top 6 gets a pin or spray giveaway. Top 3 gets 2 pin or spray giveaways. Top 2 will and first and second will each get a role in my Discord. You're gonna yes, Stark. You're going against Lucky if he wins. What's the variety of servers? Um, Mostly EU and NA, but there's one Asian, I believe. So yeah, there is some server luck that you have to get, but that's one of the reasons why I made it. That's one of the reasons why I made it double elimination, just in case you don't get lucky. You just moved to Ireland yesterday. Congratulations on your move, Dark. Glad to see you have escaped America. But in my opinion, you should have stayed for the World Cup. And that's the kill for Luna. That's the first kill Luna's gotten. Right, Luna dashing away, knows that guaranteed win on kills if they survive. And that's going to be 1-1. We're moving to game 3. And game 3 has started. Lucky is getting unlucky. Perhaps he is. Now, both of these players have stuck to their gadget of choice. Lucky's being the levitate, and Luna's being the teleport. I genuinely think that both of these gadgets are about equal. Because the levitate can be very awkward in some situations. And the teleport, like, is slow, but if you can get it off, it's good. Lucky, getting a kill, that's 1-0. And that's another kill for Lucky, and it's going to be Lucky moving on to the next round. Luna is not out yet, but as a very early entrance into the losers bracket. And that's a Lucky looking for a 5th kill. Gets it. All right. All right, now on to. Yep. All right. We are now on to the winners quarterfinals. All right. So Rinky is currently in a 1v. You can join and invite him. Dark, check Discord. He sent a invite link. So anyone who wins this match will automatically be top 6. All right, we have Lucky versus Dark are in a room together. No one else has joined their lobbies yet. Considering it's not. Yeah, no. The 1v1 tournament had 64 participants. This one only has 9. All right, Lucky and Dark have started playing. And it's going to be Dark with the first kill. Here comes Dark looking for another kill opportunity. He found it. Well played. It's normally kind of hard to get kills with the super form of Star Nova. Lucky close to a kill, but also close to dying himself. Needs to be careful, but also at the same time needs to be aggro because he's down 2 kills. Make that 3. Dark wins. Now we see let's look at Sniper versus Rinky. And it looks like Rinky's up 2-0. Rinky looking for the next kill. Gets it. 3-0. And no update on Argo Sling versus Scorp or Phantom versus Yan. I think Scorp and Yan are missing. Yeah, it's not going to be like the 1v1 where it's kills and damage. It is just straight games. Rinky taunting Sniper. Sniper almost got a kill, but it's 4-0. All of these matches have been very one-sided so far. Let's check in on game 2 of Dark versus Lucky. Lucky gets the kill on Dark. 1-0. Both players super. Dark looking for a teleport. He has to get a kill here. He doesn't. That's Lucky going to win this game 2-0. They're on to game 3. All right. Let's look at Sniper versus Rinky game 2. And Rinky is down 2-1. And Sniper gets another kill. That's going to be 3-1 in favor of Sniper. All right, and that is the first game where both players got a kill. Now let's move on to game 3 of Lucky versus Dark. And we have information. So, of the two matches, Phantom versus Yan, Phantom wins by default. And Argos Link versus Scorp. Scorp is going to start soon. Yeah. You're back. Okay, Richard. And no kills in this one. They're just trading. I believe Lucky wins on damage unless Dark gets more hits in at the very end. That's going to be Dark winning by 1,000 points of damage. Lucky got overconfident. Lucky could have won. Let's check in on Sniper versus Rinky. All right, Sniper versus Rinky. Rinky up a kill. Rinky up 2 kills. It's going to be Rinky moving on. And now we have ours versus Scorp game 1. Rinky won the first game 4-0. Sniper won 3-1, and then Rinky wins 2-0. And Scorp going in. That's the first kill of the game. And 1-1. We're trying to see who wins on damage. Scorp thinks he's behind. And he got a little bit more damage in the final showdown. And Scorp wins. 1-1 with more damage in game 1. Alright, so we're waiting on game 2 of Argo Sling. Alright, game 2. Who do you think is going to win the whole thing? I do not know. When we start 1v1 versus Rinky. After this match is finished, we move to the next round. Scorp trying to teleport in. Arj ahead on damage, I believe. Scorp got super first, but they both have it. Arj gets the kill. And Scorp, that's a kill. I believe Arj is up on damage. So Scorp probably still has to push. R's looking for a kill. He gets it. 2-1. And Scorp was up on damage before that fight. Scorp could have won if he had stayed passive. But it is really hard to keep track of how much damage you have in the Starr Nova matchup. Alright, so game 3. Alright, oh, I didn't even notice. Argo hits over to... It looks like Yan just came back, and so they will play that match. Rinky, your game can't start yet. Arge looking for the teleport. Scorp getting some chip in. Scorp is up on damage. And he knows it this time, I think. And Scorp goes in, and Arge gets super and survives. Arge could win off that. Scorp looking for the kill. Didn't get an ammo in time. 1 ammo away from winning. But it is Argo Sling moving to the next round. By just a small amount of luck. All right. All right, Phantom versus Yan, game 1. All right. Are they in game three? Yeah, they were in game three. These two, though, they just started, unfortunately. Phantom, very defensive. And Phantom getting the better of that chip. He's looking to try and win on damage here. And getting some shots in. Wait, if Yan had stayed close to Phantom, then Yan would have won with that damage gear shot. But in the end, it is Phantom by 3k damage in their game one. Wait, if Yan had stayed close, then Phantom can super and you get a little bit of healing out of that, and that's who. Okay, so that's actually a complicated position. All right, game two. All right. So far, more damage on the side of Phantom, but no kills just yet. So Yan looking to take more damage here in this trade, or perhaps get a kill. Phantom ahead on damage in this trade. He's going to win unless Yan gets better trades. He does not. Phantom taking 2 games on 0-0 damage. All right. So we will have the next round momentarily. So we have our winner. Our winner semifinals will be between Dark and Rinky and Argos Ling and Phantom. We also have the first round of losers going on right now between Yan and Luna. All right, Yan versus Luna. Game 1 has started. And we see Luna getting first damage. Luna teleporting after Yan wastes ammo. Gets a slightly better trade because Yan had less shield gear on him. Here's this trade. It gives Luna super. Yan losing that trade by 117 points of damage. That's just 1 damage gear versus 1 not damage gear, I believe. And using levitate to safely get in, but Luna has super. Gets a much better trade. Gonna be Luna way ahead on damage now based on just slightly better trades, slightly better trade, and then much better trade. And just get Blue Star and go full passive. No, Blue Star does not matter. It's focused on kills. Kills with damage tiebreaker is the format. All right, Yan looking for a kill here. So close. I think he gets the kill if he stays in the normal form. But wait, it is Yan with most damage by 212. Yan wins game 1. All right, let's go to Rinky versus Dark. And this game is almost over. And Rinky almost got a kill, but instead uses super. It's going to be 1-1. Rinky wins on damage. Glad we got the end of that game. Then Arj versus Phantom game 1 is happening. This might be game 2, actually. Arj getting the better of that trade. Goes in, tries to get the super damage, but Phantom is faster. 1-0 for Phantom. Phantom with another better trade by about 1800 damage. Phantom could super in if he wanted. What if they tied but one gets Blue Star? If kills are tied, then we go to damage tiebreaker. If damage is tied, I haven't figured that out. I've never seen damage tied. I've seen a win by 13 points of damage, but I've never seen a tie on damage. I guess Blue Star would be it. But Blue Star is just last kill. So maybe just Stars? Phantom going in. Phantom barely getting the kill on Arj there. Even if Phantom had died and Arj survived, it probably would still be a win on damage for Phantom. But now Phantom can win comfortably. He can stop moving and still win, probably. But he's not going to give up another kill. He's going to get one of his own. 3-0. Alright, we're at the end of Rinky versus Dark. No kills this game. And Rinky gets the kill at the very end. Alright, we have results coming in as all of the matches just finished. I think all of them finished in 2 games. Alright, so Rinky beat Dark 1-1 on damage and then 4-0. Or wait, no, one of them. No, he won. No, that's one of them's the wrong screenshot. All right, Phantom. Uh, won both games. Oh my god, everyone's sending me the wrong screenshot. What is happening? All right. I might be able to remember things. So, Phantom beat Argosling 1-1 and then 3-0, I think. Um. All right, so Phantom won 1-1 and then 3-0. Rinky won 1-1 and then 1-0. And then Yan won, I think. Um All right, we're figuring everything out so far. We're almost done and almost ready to move to the next round. Everyone's played good? Yeah. All right. So Yan beat Luna. It was 0-0 in the first game and 2-0 in the second. All right. Um. All right. We're moving on to losers round 2 and winners finals. But we're going to be doing losers round 2 first. All right. All right. So I think we. Yeah, everyone is playing good so far. However, I think we're going to be getting some forfeits soon. Looking at the bracket. Zero lot. No, that's just Phantom's play style. Um, Phantom plays very passively, so almost all of his games are like 1-1s or 0-0s or like 1-0s. All right, so we're going to be getting Scorp versus Yan right now. Um, though I think Sniper is going to forfeit, which will mean Lucky will automatically get top 6. All right. Sniper messaged me saying that he wanted to forfeit. So Lucky will move on to losers round 3 or losers quarters. All right. So we're seeing no kills from Scorp or Yan so far. How good is Rinky? Pretty good, like about my level. Scorp had a lot of damage on Yan at the very end. And that will be Scorp winning game 1 on damage. All right, game. This is Yan's last stand. Do you get a prize? Yes, Stark. You're automatically top 6. All right, Scorp has Yan in a corner. You can get some damage that way. Scorp pushing Yan to the other corner. Yan pushes out. Trade favorable to Yan. We're going to see our competitors heal. But Yan doesn't heal to his shield gear while Scorp does. That's an issue, but not a very big one. What do you get if you finish number 1 in losers rounds? That's a guaranteed top 2, and then you get to fight the best in winners rounds for first place. First place. So top 6 gets a pin or spray. Top 3 gets another pin or spray. And first and second each get their own unique roles in the server. Here comes Yan, looking for damage. Scorp as well. Scorp getting the better end of those trades. Does it matter in the end? It does. Scorp wins both games on damage. All right. All right, we're now going to watch the winner's final match between Rinky and Phantom. Phantom has been perfect, the only player not to drop a game so far. Rinky, almost perfect, dropped a game to Sniper, but was perfect against Dark Mine. There is the roll for flat. Um, the roll is mostly for flex, but um, it'll also give you better seating. Like having the roll will give you better seating for like for large 1v1 tournaments I do. So like it is mostly for flex. You low-key play 2 aggro? Yeah, lucky. I mean, you're not out of it just yet. Actually, now that we have gotten top 6, let me see if I can open up. Because I haven't actually opened up the rewards, say the pins. Oh, Rinky versus Scorp has started. All right. And Rink Phantom getting a slightly better end of that trade, but honestly not that much. Rinky obviously angry about something. Yeah. Phantom and Rinky, pretty even trade from them. And Rinky gets a kill at the very end. Game 1 to Rinky. And Rinky needed the kill because Phantom would have won on damage otherwise. But my stream is kind of laggy. 20-second delay is normal. Unfortunately, that's just YouTube. But laggy, it should not be. Twenty-second delay is just YouTube being stupid, but it should not. But laggy is an issue, as I said. All right, Rinky, losing first blood here. Phantom ahead 1080. Now, Phantom's normal playstyle of just win the chip damage if and play defensively doesn't work that well on Star Nova as it would on like a Stew or anything. But with Rinky on 11 HP, it's obviously still a decent strategy. Phantom with Super first. Super actually isn't that strong in the Star Nova mirror. All right, Rinky pins Phantom and gets the kill with Super. 1-0. Phantom has to get a kill in the next 40 seconds. Phantom using the levitate to go further. Phantom tries to super, but Rinky with the teleport. This is why the teleport is so good. Phantom has to heal, but he can't. That's 2-0 to Rinky. Okay, there's no reason my computer should be this laggy. Insane lag. I'm working on it. Huh? Okay, things are back. You can start your 1v1. I'm trying to send them that message right now, but it's just being laggy. Basically, whenever I finish typing out this message, um, lag. Even my Discord is lagging. This is insane. Alright, let me refresh challenge and see if it's challenge's fault. Cause I forgot that challenge is super laggy. Hey. Alright, Lucky's. This is alright. Is what's happening in stream, guys? Is it back to normal-ish? Or is it still lagging a lot? I cannot tell. Lagging rough. Because I've gotten rid of pretty much every tab I can. Actually, that's a lie. There's 2 more tabs gone. Okay, now it should be better. Alright. Alright, so Argosling is forfeiting his match versus Lucky. Lucky is moving on to losers semifinals. Dark, you should check Discord. Less laggy? Alright. Glad to hear. Dark chest, you should check Discord now. Quality got worse? Change your auto quality from because you can change it 360p or 480p should be what it should be on. If it's on 144p, it's gonna look terrible. All right, Dark versus Scorp has started. It's 480p. Well, then it should look fine. And it's probably your device. Try refreshing. All right, Scorp going in for the teleport. You're watching. It's fixed right now. Okay. Dark, I believe, slightly ahead of Scorp in terms of damage. All right, trades happening. Not a lot of damage. Scorp looking at the teleport option. Finds it. That's a little bit of damage on Dark. Not a lot, though. They both want to trade a little. Scorp getting way better trades there. And that's going to be Scorp with the win in game one. And I believe that was almost perfect because 720 health. All right, and reminder, Lucky, you face the winner of this match. I'm not doing ads right now. All right. Scorp versus Dark. Scorp is up 1-0. Scorp looking for the teleport. Really good damage onto Dark. Dark gets a lot of damage on Scorp as well, but it does favor Scorp. Dark looking for the levitate, trying to find an angle onto Scorp. Scorp playing patient. More damage onto Dark. Scorp has the damage. He can just back off and win. And he does something kind of like that and will win both games on damage. All right, so now we are going to see Scorp and Lucky battle for top three, third versus fourth. Now, top three get top. So the prizes are top six gets a prize, top three gets a prize, second gets a prize, and first gets a prize. So this game is pretty important. Mm. Yep, correct. All right, Lucky looking for a teleport. No damage for either side just yet. I also can't tell what server we're on, whether we're on Lucky's server or Scorp's server. Lucky with a gadget. Doesn't use it. Now Scorp sends one out. Also doesn't use it. 0 damage so far from either side. Scorp has Gadget. Lucky does not. And I believe Scorp got a hit on Lucky. And Lucky, because Lucky had refreshing shield gear. And Lucky did get a hit on Scorp. I believe these two are even. And they trade again. Believe Lucky the winner of that trade. So how it works is the match between these two determines who gets the second pin or spray. Then the match between the winner and Phantom determines who's getting a roll. And the better between Rinky and the winner between Phantom and the winner of this game determines who gets like the better roll. Or I actually have 2 name roll ideas, and first place gets to choose, and second gets given the other choice. But anyway, it will be Scorp winning this game with 4,000 damage in 2 minutes. All right, we are waiting on game 2. Apologies to everyone. Oh, Scorp versus Lucky is playing. Game 2. Scorp teleports up. Lucky with a teleporter. Not gonna use it. Scorp with his teleporter. I think he should use it. He does. Better trade for Scorp. Scorp still looking for damage. Lucky throws out a teleporter. Much better trade for Scorp again. Scorp now significantly up in damage. And Scorp gets a kill. 1-0. Lucky going in for dashes. Not able to get the kill. Scorp wins 1-0. All right, so the losers final will be between Phantom and Scorp. All right, Scorp versus Phantom. Losers final will start any minute now. Here it goes. No damage for either side just yet. Scorp gets a tick of damage in and then teleports out. That's going to be Scorp with a damage lead, barely. Phantom trying to push, but Scorp wins the trade. That's going to be about 1,500 damage that Scorp is up. Phantom has health lead. Scorp solo, looking to heal. Doesn't heal enough. Phantom will win 1-0. All because Scorp accidentally stopped his healing with a gadget that he probably didn't mean to click. That's unlucky. And we're going into game 2. And Scorp way ahead on damage. Good trades. Phantom gets a tap, but only one. Phantom trying to find an angle to get in onto Scorp. Scorp keeping his distance, getting a tap. He has super now. So does Phantom. So Phantom's not that far behind on damage, though he is behind. Scorp letting his teleporter expire. Phantom using the levitate. Phantom going in, but Scorp defends. And that's going to be Scorp with the win in game 2. All right, game 3 for losers final. Hey, Rinky, you ready? Well, there's a game 3. We gotta play game 3 first. Alright, we're going to be getting into game 3 any minute now. And game 3. And we've seen some taps. I believe Scorp is ahead. Scorp is definitely ahead now. Scorp looking for a kill on Phantom. Gets it. 1-0. Scorp looking for perhaps a second kill. Doesn't see it. Phantom is in free shot range, but has the gadget for defense. Scorp backs off. Doesn't want to lose his lead. 30 seconds left. Phantom has to find a kill and is probably down on damage as well. Phantom versus Scorp. Phantom thinking about supering in. Supers in after getting some taps. Well played by Phantom. Could Phantom get enough damage from that encounter to win? No. Scorp wins 1-1 on damage. So Rinky versus Scorp for in the finals. All right, so Scorp lost in the first round to Argo Sling and has won every single match in the losers bracket since. Rinky has beaten Sniper, who forfeited in losers round 2, beaten Dark Be Mine, who lost to Scorp in losers quarters, and then beaten Phantom, who also lost to Scorp. However, this is an EU versus NA bracket. Alright, Scorp versus Rinky has started. Alright. Even on damage so far, unless my eyes have been lying to me. Someone is playing with a lot of lag, though. Honestly, with Star Nova, I can't tell who it is. Scorp gets a better trade there. Rinky gets another shot in to even out the trade. It's about 1,200 damage for each side. Scorp gets a tap. Rinky cannot follow up. Gets another tap. Rinky does get a tap, but it's a lot less damage because Scorp had full shield gear. And then Rinky gets another. Damage is about even. But we'll see who it favors, actually. Thank you for the subscription. We'll see. 5 seconds left. Does anyone want to make a move? No, they don't. And will you see who wins? It's going to be Scorp. Scorp wins game 1. Wait. Looks like game 1 came down to shield gear value. That's insane. All right. We're getting to game 2 soon. Calculate the game. It seems the same. I'm just not moving the screen. All right. Calculate. So what happened is they hit each other the same number of times, but Scorp got more value off of shield gear, which is why Scorp had more damage. Because they had the same value, but on Scorp's screen, Scorp had the most damage title, while Rinky had the most healing title, which means that Scorp did more damage. Scorp gets the first tap. All right. Some taps for each side. Both heal to full. Rinky a little more focused this game on shield gear value. Scorp looking for a teleport. Doesn't get a hit off. But Rinky does. That's another 180 damage for Rinky. And the trade's about even afterwards. Until Rinky gets an extra hit. Rinky probably ahead on damage now. But Scorp gets a really good trade. Scorp has more supercharge, so that could imply that Scorp has more damage. I think that is correct. Rinky going in. Rinky thinks they're down. Rinky looking for an opportunity. Doesn't find it. And will lose this game on damage as well. All right. And that's going to be the end. All right. Thank you guys for watching.